Good morning, students. Welcome to computer class. In this class, I would like to teach programs based on looping control structures. Based on this topic, this is the second video. Shall we start our class? In the last video, I taught two programs. Those are prime number and perfect number. In this video, I would like to teach two more programs. Those are composite number and palindrome number. Composite number and palindrome number. The third question is, write a program to check whether the given number is palindrome or not. Once again, I will repeat. Write a program to check whether the given number is composite or not. What is a composite number? Here is the definition. The composite numbers are the positive integers which have more than two factors, unlike prime numbers. The composite numbers are the positive integers which have more than two factors, unlike prime numbers. What is a prime number? A prime number is a number which is having one and itself. One and itself. Composite number is quite opposite for the prime number. Now, what we have to do? We have to take a number as positive and we have to find out the factors of that number. At last, we have to give the output. Is it composite or not? Is it composite or not? Now, I would like to teach the variable description for this program. Variable description is, students, draw this table with pen only. Don't draw this table with pencil. You may get you may get minus marks if you use the pencil. That's why use pen and draw this table very neatly. Here we have three columns. First one is variable name, data type and description. The first variable is n. N is an integer to store an integer type data. I. I is an integer to store the control variable for the for loop of for loop. F. F is an integer to store the number of factors of a number. The number of factors of a number. Now, I would like to teach the program for this composite number. The program is hash include stdio.h. We are including standard input output header file to run the functions printf and scanf. Next one is hash include conio.h. We are including this header file to run the functions clr, scr and getch function. Void main method and open braces int n comma I comma f is equal to 0 clr scr printf enter any number. Here we are displaying for the end users enter any number. Now we are taking a number from the end users by using the function scanf. Here we are reading a number from the scanner. End users. Next one is for I is equal to 2, I is less than n and I plus plus. Here we are starting this for loop from 2, not from the 1. If we use from 1 to n, that is a prime number. That's why we have started this for loop from 2. I is equal to 2 and I is less than n, I plus plus, open brackets. If n mod I is equal to 0, if the given number is divisible by I, then I is called the factor of n. Then we have to increase the factors. F is equal to f plus 1. Closed braces. Now, if the given number is having at least one factor, then 1 and itself, that is called a composite number. A number which is having the factors at least one except 1 and itself. That's why we have written here f is greater than or equal to 1, then printf the given number is a composite number. Else printf the given number is not a composite number. Close brackets. This is all over the program for composite numbers. Now I would like to explain the execution of this program. Explanation for the execution part, that is, we have started the for loop from 2. The initial value of I is 2. That's why the initial value is I is equal to 2. 2 is less than 6. That condition is true. That's why it enters the body. Now, there the first statement is 6 mod 2 is equal to 0. That is true. Now, f is equal to the initial value of f is 0. That's why 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. Here the value of f is 1 and I is equal to 3. Now we are going to the next iteration with the new value of I is equal to 3. 3 is less than or equal to 6. That is true. Now 6 mod 3 is equal to 0. Yeah, 6 is divisible by 3. That's why this condition is true. Now it increases the value of f. F is equal to, in the previous iteration, the value of f is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Now I is equal to 4. Now it comes into the next iteration with the new value of I, that is equal to 4. 4 is less than 6. This is true. Next, 6 mod 4 is equal to 0. This condition is false. That's why it doesn't increases the value of f and just increase the value of I. Now it just comes into the next iteration with the new value of I, that is 5. I is equal to 5. 5 is less than 6. That is true. Now 6 mod 5 is equal to 0. That is false. That's why it doesn't increase the value of the factors f and it just increases the value of I, that is 6. Now it comes to the next iteration with the new value of I is 6. 6 is less than 6. This condition is false. That's why it simply comes out of the for loop. When it comes out of the for loop, what you have to observe? What is the final value of f here? 2. Remember that value f is equal to 2. After for loop, what we have written? If f is greater than or equal to 1, means the value of f is 2. 2 is greater than or equal to 1. That condition is true. That's why it prints 6 is a composite number. Now, the output of this program is enter any number. If I entered 6, it gives the output 6 is a composite number. This is all over the composite number explanation. Children, no need to write this explanation. You just write this explanation in the margin of the page. write down the output also. Now come to the next program, that is fourth one. Write a program to check whether the given number is palindrome or not. Whether the given number is palindrome or not. What is a palindrome number? Here is the definition. Palindrome number is a number that remains the same when its digits are reversed. When the digits are reversed, it remains same. That number is called palindrome number. For example, 121. If I reverse this 121, again that number is 121. 34,543 is there. If I reverse that number, the number remains same. Here 343, 131, 48,984 are the palindrome numbers. These are the some examples of the palindrome numbers. Now I would like to teach the variable description for this program. In this program, I am going to use these four variables only. Children, again I am remembering you. Draw this table with a pen only. Don't use pencil. Draw the table with a pen only. The first variable is n, is an integer type data to store an integer. D is an integer type data to store each digit. Sum is an integer type data to store the sum of factorial. M is an integer type data to store the given number. Now I would like to teach the program for this palindrome number. Program is hash include stdio.h. stdio.h. Here you not there, you just rectify this one. Here we are including this header file to run the input and output functions. Next, hash include conio.h. We are including this header file to run the functions clr, scr and getch function. Next one is void main open braces int n comma m comma d comma sum is equal to 0. clr, scr printf enter any number. This was we are displaying on the output screen, and we are taking the input from the end users by using the scanf function. %d ampersand n. Here we are taking the number from the users and we are copying that number into m. M is equal to n means we are copying the given number into the variable m. Next one is while n greater than 0, d is equal to n mod 10. We are separating the digit by using this statement. Now we are adding that variable to the sum by multiplying with 10. N is equal to n by 10, close brackets. Now m is equal to sum. The given number is equal to the reversed number. Printf, the given number is a palindrome number. Else printf, the given number is not a palindrome number. Close bracket. This is all over the program for palindrome number. Now I would like to teach how this execution part will this calculation part will execute. That is, if I take 141 as the input number, that is n is equal to 141, the first condition in the while loop is 141 is greater than 0. This is true. Now Now comes into the body. What is the first statement? D is equal to 141 mod 10. Means we are taking the remainder here. The remainder is 1. Now sum is equal to, the initial value of sum is 0 into 10 is equal to 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. The value of sum is 1 and n is equal to n by 10. Sorry, here instead of 145 you just write 141. 141 by 10, that is equal to, here we are taking the quotient, that is 14. By completing this first iteration, the final value of sum is 1 and the final value of n is 14. These are the new values of sum and n. Now we are going with these new values to the next iteration. Now the condition is n is greater than 0, that is 14 is greater than 0, that is true. Now comes into the body, d is equal to 14 mod 10, that is the remainder is 4. That's why d is equal to 4. Now sum is equal to, in the last iteration, the value of sum is 1. 1 into 10 plus 4. 1 tens are 10 plus 4, that is 14. Now n is equal to n by 10. 14 by 10. Here the quotient is 1. The final value of sum is 14 and the final value of n is 1. Now we are going with these new values into the next iteration, that is 1 is greater than 0, that is true. Now d is equal to 1 mod 10. The numerator is less than the denominator, that's why the given value, it takes the given value, that is 1. Now sum is equal to, the new value of sum in the last iteration is 14 into 10 plus here d value is 1. 14 tens are 140 plus 1, that is 141. Now n is equal to n by 10. 1 by 10. Numerator is less than denominator, that's why it gives 0 as written. That's why in this iteration the final values of sum is 141 and n is 0. Now come to the next iteration. 0 is greater than 0. This condition is false. That's why it just comes out of the while loop and go to the next statement. In the next statement, what we have written? M is equal to sum. The value of M is 141 and the final value of sum is 141. These two numbers are equal. That's why it just prints the given number is a palindrome number. That's why the output is, enter any number. 141 I have entered. Then it gives the output 141 is palindrome number. This is all over the two programs. Children, you just write the question, next definition of the number, and then next definition of the number. After that you just write the variable description, then program. Write very neatly. These programs we are using in the next forthcoming lessons. Those are user defined functions. That subscribe this channel to get the notifications. Thank you.